Audie Murphy was one of America's most decorated soldiers and a surprising Hollywood star, yet beneath his public persona lay a man shaped by poverty, trauma, and a deep sense of justice. Born Audie Leon Murphy on June 20th, 1925, in Kingston, Hunt County, Texas, he was the seventh of 12 children in a family struggling to survive between World War I and the Great Depression. His mother, Josie Bell Killian, raised the children alone after his father, Emmett, drifted away, leaving a legacy of abandonment that would haunt Murphy throughout his life. Despite the hardships, Murphy grew tough, independent, and fiercely determined, traits that later made him a battlefield legend. But even in Hollywood, where many of his peers admired him, there was one man Murphy openly despised. At 91, Pat Boone finally tells the truth about Roy Orbison. Audie Murphy truly hated James Cagney more than anyone. This is the story of why. A childhood of hunger and abandonment. Murphy's early life was a brutal lesson in survival. Raised in rural Texas, his family lived hand to mouth, often without enough food or resources. His mother worked tirelessly, and young Audie learned responsibility early, helping with chores and working the land. His father's repeated absences left the family fractured and emotionally broken. When Murphy's mother died in 1941, the family's structure collapsed. His siblings were sent to orphanages, and Audie drifted from job to job, desperate to keep his family intact. He attended school only until the 5th grade, leaving to work as a cotton picker in the sweltering heat. It was a childhood marked by pain, loss, and instability, yet it also created a resilience that would define him. Murphy grew up believing that survival depended on toughness, discipline, and a refusal to surrender. A young soldier with an iron will. As World War II escalated, Murphy saw a path out of poverty and into purpose. Despite being barely 5 feet 5 and under 120 pounds, he persisted until the Army finally accepted him on June 30th, 1942. His small stature didn't stop him from rising quickly through the ranks. After basic training and advanced infantry instruction, he was assigned to Company B, 1st Battalion, 15th Infantry Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division. His first overseas posting in French Morocco exposed him to the brutal realities of war. Yet Murphy's discipline and seriousness earned him respect from superiors and peers alike. In July 1943, he was promoted to corporal, and later that year to sergeant, after displaying leadership during the invasion of Sicily. His reputation as a fearless and dependable soldier began to spread. The making of a war legend. Murphy's bravery intensified during Operation Dragoon in August 1944, where he fought with relentless determination. His actions in southern France showcase his tactical skill and willingness to risk his life for his men. His heroism earned him promotion to second lieutenant, and his unit received the Presidential Unit Citation. As the Allies pushed into northeastern France, Murphy repeatedly exposed himself to enemy fire to lead attacks, rescue wounded soldiers, and repel counterattacks. His courage earned him a long list of medals, including the Medal of Honor, Distinguished Service Cross, and multiple Silver Stars. By 1945, during the Battle for the Culm Pocket, he led a decisive counterattack and was promoted to first lieutenant. His valor in the face of overwhelming odds made him an American legend and the most decorated soldier of World War II. A new life, from soldier to screen star. After the war, Murphy continued his military service while becoming a national icon. In 1950, he was commissioned as a captain in the Texas National Guard and later promoted to major in the U.S. Army Reserve in 1956. But Hollywood was calling. Murphy began acting in war films, bringing an authenticity that few actors could match. His most famous role came in To Hell and Back, 1955, a film adaptation of his own autobiography. Playing himself, Murphy gave audiences an unflinching look at combat and survival. The film became one of Universal Pictures' most successful releases of the decade. Despite his fame, Murphy never abandoned his military identity. He remained committed to service and veterans' causes until his retirement from the U.S. Army in 1969. Love, loss, and the struggle for peace. Murphy's personal life was marked by turbulence and longing for stability. In 1949, he married actress Wanda Hendricks, a glamorous union that drew public attention. But the marriage was troubled from the start. Murphy carried the psychological scars of war, what would later be recognized as PTSD, and the pressure of fame intensified his internal battles. Their relationship became strained, and within 2 years, they divorced. Later that year, Murphy married Pamela Archer, an airline stewardess who offered him the grounding he needed. Their marriage brought a sense of normalcy and peace. Together, they had 2 sons, Terrence Michael and James Shannon. Murphy poured himself into fatherhood, determined to build a family life that had been denied to him as a child. His sons became his greatest source of hope and purpose. A Hollywood outsider among giants. Despite his success, Murphy never felt fully accepted in Hollywood. He was not classically trained, and he did not come from the elite theater world. His fame came from the battlefield, not from the stage. Many in the industry viewed him as a novelty, an authentic war hero trying to act. Murphy, however, held himself to a standard of respect. He admired those who carried themselves with dignity, like James Stewart, another decorated veteran, but one actor stood out as the opposite of everything Murphy respected. James Cagney. Murphy saw in Cagney a man who used arrogance as a shield and condescension as a weapon. In Murphy's eyes, Cagney looked down on those who hadn't come from his world. He saw Cagney's tough guy image as fake, a performance that continued even when the cameras were off. Why Murphy hated Cagney more than anyone? Murphy's disdain for Cagney was rooted in deep personal and ideological conflict. Cagney had not served in World War II, and rumors surrounded his loyalty and patriotism. Murphy, who had watched friends die on the battlefield, could not tolerate those who questioned America's values or avoided service when others fought. He believed Cagney's swagger was a false display, and he resented the way Cagney treated veterans as amateurs. Murphy once said Cagney called him "soldier boy" in a mocking tone. That insult cut deeper than any criticism of his acting. For Murphy, respect was everything. He believed Cagney represented everything wrong with Hollywood: ego, performance, and dishonesty. Murphy's hatred was not jealousy. It was moral outrage. He felt Cagney's attitude betrayed the sacrifices of the men who fought. The final tragedy: a hero lost too soon. Murphy's life ended in tragedy on May 28, 1971, when the private plane he was traveling in crashed into a mountain near Roanoke, Virginia. The weather was severe, with rain, fog, and zero visibility. The crash killed Murphy, the pilot, and 4 other passengers. He was only 45 years old. The world lost not only a war hero, but a man who had struggled to survive and build a life beyond his trauma. Murphy's death was a harsh reminder that the battles he fought didn't end with the war. His legacy lives on through his extraordinary military service, his films, and the truth he carried about courage, loyalty, and the cost of war. Outro. The man who fought for respect. Audie Murphy was more than a legend. He was a survivor, a soldier, a father, and a man who refused to compromise his values. He fought for his country and then fought again for dignity in a world that often didn't understand him. He admired bravery, humility, and honesty, qualities he found in fellow veterans, but not in James Cagney. Murphy's hatred for Cagney was not a trivial feud. It was a statement about what he believed the world owed to those who served. He was a man shaped by hardship and trauma, yet still capable of love and loyalty. And even in his final years, his mind remained sharp, his judgment clear, and his sense of justice unbroken. Audie Murphy may have died young, but his story remains a powerful reminder of what true courage looks like, both on the battlefield and off.